Hello and welcome back to my live broadcast. I'm Shanta Prince and I help women coaches build their personal brands. I help them to create their high ticket offers and then I help them to actually get paying clients. So, a part of getting paid is about sales, right? So, you got to make some sales so that you can actually get paid, get that money in that bank account, and create the life that you've been dreaming about. So, one of the things that I've been seeing quite often lately is I've been seeing some of your sales pages. So, your sales page, for those of you, if like you're a total newbie to business, a sales page is basically the page that people go to buy your offer or your product or whatever it is that you're selling. So I've been looking at your sales pages. So that's why today's topic is let's talk about those sales pages. So, first of all, I will tell you that if you're selling a program, if you're selling some type of program or some type of offer, you don't always need a sales page, right? Hey, now I usually help my clients to create their sales pages. But it's not like if you don't have a sales page, you can't sell anything. So I'm not going to tell you that it's like absolutely required for you to have a sales page. But I will say that it's highly encouraged. If you're one of my clients, I'm going to highly encourage you to create a sales page. And the reason why is because um, there's certain benefits to having a sales page. People can go for those people who like to read. Like some people learn by listening. There's some people who learn by reading. And so on your sales page, you can take care of both of those. You could do a video. You could have the words for people who like to read. And so, but sales pages can take out a lot of the barrier between you needing to always have a conversation with people. Now, I do teach my clients on how to have sales conversations, but sometimes you're going to have people who they already know you, they trust you. They're just going to go to your sales page and join your program. Now, that's like the most beautiful sales transaction ever when someone can just go to your sales page and buy. It happens sometimes, right? So having a sales page has lots of benefits. But for example, I have a friend who she made six figures before she even created a sales page. And so sales pages are important, but I'm not going to tell you that you can't make money if you don't have a sales page, right? As long as you have a processor, a payment processor to process those cards, you can make money. Okay. Now I will say I like to use sales pages because it's this the way that I'm building my brand. I like to have a sales page. So the thing is, when you're creating a sales page, the whole idea is to sell the person on why they should work with you, why they need that offer, why, how it's going to help them, how it's going to change their lives. So I've looked at a few sales pages over the last couple of days, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, there's so much that goes into creating a sales page. But actually, I'm actually in the process of building out a sales funnel myself right now. So sales pages can be a little bit tricky. So let me tell you a story about one of the first sales pages that I ever created. So I was hosting a live event and I wanted people to come to my event and I was going to be um, teaching about business. So with this particular event, um, I put the sales page together and I ran Facebook ads to this sales page. And I'm like, this no one is buying tickets to my event. Like, why is this thing not selling? So I'm looking at my ads and I'm like, oh, like 3 days have gone by. Nobody has bought a ticket to this event. And I'm like, what is going on? So I started looking at my sales page because people were clicking on the link but they weren't buying. So that told me that, okay, something is off with this sales page. So it just so happened that one of my business mentors was actually teaching on sales pages at that time. And so I hopped on to the class where she was teaching about sales pages. And as she started to teach, everything that was wrong with my sales page, like it started to unfold for me. And I was like, oh, like that's why nobody's buying. So let me tell y'all, this is my sales page. Now, this is not like the exact words on my sales page, right? But the essence of my sales page said, hey, you guys, I'm doing this event and you should come to this event because I'm awesome. I'm not joking. Don't y'all laugh at me, but that I'm not joking. That is like the whole tone of my sales page. And the reason why my sales page was like that is because I thought that my credentials would get people excited about coming to my event. Here's why I want to talk about this, okay? Um so many people, coaches, mentors, consultants, they lead with their credentials. And that does not get your ideal clients excited. If you're like, oh, click this link and look at my certification, like nobody really cares about that, right? What people really care about is whether or not you can help them to solve their problem. And so if you're leading with credentials, you're making it all about you because you're like, well, I got this credential, I got this thing, I got this, I got that degree. And that's not what really matters to your ideal clients. They want to know if you can help them to solve their problem. Okay. If I sat here and told you, hey, I've got a bachelor's degree in computer studies, I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, I have a master of divinity and practical theology, you would be like, okay, and like, how is that going to help me? Right. So when you lead with your credentials, you really make it about you. Now, there are some instances where your credentials are important. And there's some instances where you will lead with your credentials because that establishes your credibility. But for most of us who are in the coaching and mentorship space, like what our people want to know is, can you help me? Okay. Can you help me to close say, can you help me to close sales? Can you help me to build my personal brand? Can you help me to refine my messaging? These are all the things that I help my clients to do. Okay. So you want to know if I can actually help you. So that was the big mistake that I made on my sales page. I made it all about my credentials and all of the things that I had accomplished, and nobody was interested in that. So I went back, I rewrote the sales page, and I made the sales page about them. And I said, this is what I'm going to teach you like when you come. This is what we're going to talk about. This is how the information that I'm sharing is going to help you. Right. So this is how I'm going to, when you come to this event, this is what's in it for you. This is how your life is going to be different. This is how I'm going to serve you when you come to this event. And on the day of my event, you guys, like the room was packed. There was not an empty seat in that room. And that was like the first like big lesson in selling is that when you're selling something, it's not about you. You really have to make it all about your ideal clients because that's what's important. Now, when I initially wrote that sales page, it wasn't me like being cocky or arrogant. That's just what I thought people wanted to know. I thought that if someone's like, "Oh, she's got all these credentials, I need to go to this event," and it was like, no, like no, like what can you do for me? How can you help me? I have 4 college degrees. None of my degrees have anything to do with business, but they all help me to do what I do better, helps me to serve my clients better, but they don't really have anything to do with business. People pay me to learn business, right? And so leading with my credentials doesn't really serve my clients, right? I lead with service and I teach my clients how to lead with service too, how to serve people, how to sell through serving. So when you serve people, then that helps them to see, oh my goodness, I really like working with this person. I really see this person's genuine personality. And that's one of the ways that I've been able to help my clients to close more sales. And the way that I close more sales is by leading with service. Okay. So when it comes to your sales page, you want to tell people what's in it for them. I looked at a sales page just this morning, and a sales page could be a landing page where you're offering something for free because you're still selling them on why they should give you their email address for that free thing, right? Just this morning, I looked at sales page this morning, sales page yesterday, and a few more sales pages, and I was just like, oh my goodness! If you're trying to sell me something, and I go to your sales page and I look at the whole sales page and I still don't know what I'm getting, that is not a good sales page because you can say a whole lot of stuff and not say anything. And I've actually had a person who I've worked with before, And I trust this person. I know this person. I worked with them in the past before, and he was selling something, and I probably would have bought it, but I read the sales page, and I'm like, I read the sales page, and I still don't know exactly what I'm getting. Nobody wants to spend money when they don't really understand what they're getting. And so if you put forth the effort to create this sales page, you got to make sure you actually tell people what they're getting. I don't mean in a way that makes sense in your head, because that's another mistake that people make is they have this idea in their head, but it's not connecting with the people that they're trying to sell to. And I always say this, y'all, like it is one of my pet peeves when people try to come up with a message that's cute but it's not clear. I always tell my clients this: clear is better than cute. When it comes to money, you got to be clear because clarity attracts money. When people can see the vision, when they can see what it is they're getting, then they're more likely to want to pull out that card and invest with you. So if you got this real cute message and you're like, oh, I want to, do it like this. I had a friend years ago who she was doing this event and she asked me, can I, help her with the title of her event? And so I was like, yeah, sure. I can help you. So she told me what the name of her event was. And I was like, that's probably not going to connect with your ideal clients. And like you guys, she pretty much like argued me down about why the name of her program was going to be the name and why, she's sticking with that. And so at that point, I'm like, why would you even ask me if you like you so I think you just wanted me to agree with you that this name is great. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, girl, like people pay me to help them with this kind of stuff, right? I'm giving you like my best stuff, like my best advice, right? And so she stuck with the name, and listen, her events did not take off because the message did not connect. Okay. So when you're doing your pages, you got to have a message that connects with your people, not in a way that speaks over their head, because we have the tendency to do that too. Because we're so good at what we do, sometimes we're speaking a language that our people do not understand, right? They don't understand it. Can you imagine if a teacher, like for example, like with my daughter, she's going to the sixth grade, but when she was last year in the fifth grade, she struggled with math. And so I have taken, classes in I've had algebra, what pre-algebra, algebra one, algebra two, I've taken calculus, I've taken trigonometry, I've taken geometry, I've taken a lot of math classes, including physics, which has lots of math in it. And so when I went to the school, they told me that my baby was she was failing. Excuse me, I don't know what's going on with my throat today. But it could be that I talk too much. But anyway, so she was struggling in math, and they told me, they're like, well, we're not allowed to give her homework. The way that the school system, they have this law or rule or whatever, they're not allowed to give her homework. And there was no help, no tutoring available for her. So guess what I had to do? I had to help my baby with her math. So so can you imagine if I'm trying to teach this fifth grader math, but yet I'm talking about sine, cosine, tangent, the quadratic formula, and I'm talking about all these different things that she's not ready for yet. It's going to go over her head and she's going to be confused and frustrated, right? So when I taught her, I had to come down to where she was at and what she was learning right now. And so when you're selling something, you've got to meet your clients where they are, your ideal clients where they are. Because you have all of this knowledge and all of this information, that does not mean you have to dump it on them and overwhelm them and confuse them. Because when a person is confused, they don't buy. It's proven. If you confuse a person, they will not buy from you. If you're speaking over their heads, that is confusing. So think about when you're selling something, think about where your clients are at. Because for many of us, our clients are us a few steps ago, even if it's just one step, right? Most of us, we are our clients are us, right? And so go back to when you were in that place, right? Don't forget where you came from. Go back to when you were in that place. What did you need to hear? What did you need? So one of the things that I always ask my clients when we're creating their offers and we're working on their launches and we're working on their sales strategy, I ask when they give the idea, and if I already know right off the bat that's not gonna connect with your ideal clients, I'll just ask them. I'll say, "Do you think your ideal clients will understand those words?" And when they say, they probably won't understand that. Then we start to shift the messaging so that the messaging connects with their ideal clients. You cannot sell people something that they don't understand, right? You really got to make it plain so that they get it, right? That's why Jesus used parables, because he was teaching about this kingdom that was new to the people at the time. They're like, what is this kingdom stuff? What does it mean that the kingdom of heaven is at hand? So when you go through the scriptures, you'll see him saying, the kingdom of heaven is like this. The kingdom of heaven is like this. The kingdom of heaven is like this. So what he was doing was he was using something that they were familiar with to teach them something that they were not yet familiar with. Okay. He was speaking their language. Okay. And so that's what you got to be able to do when you're trying to sell something. So on your sales page, you want to think about, where are my clients at right now? How can I speak their language? Okay. So that's number one, speaking your ideal client's language. Okay. And you want to make sure, number two, you want to make sure you articulate exactly what they're getting. Okay. But most importantly, you have to be able to articulate how the thing that they're getting is going to help them. What are the outcomes they're going to get from that offer? So if I said to you, "Hey, I'm selling this program," you'd be like, "Well, Shanta, okay, well, what is the program? Like, what am I going to get in this program, right?" Like, even if you know me and trust me already, and I say, "Hey, I'm selling this program," you're gonna be like, "Okay, well, what about the program? Like, what are the details about this program?" That's how a lot of these sales pages look. It's just like, "Hey, I'm selling a program. I'm selling this program," but you're not really telling people what they're getting. Okay, so there are two ways to tell people what they're getting. Number one, the features. Number two, the benefits. The features are like how many sessions they're getting, what kind of workbooks, are you doing any assessments? Those are all features. Okay. But what happens is sometimes people only focus on the features. And you tell people, hey, you get three one-on-one sessions, and then you get this workbook to this one workbook, and then you get this assessment to help figure out where you are right now and where you need to go next. And all of that is great, but it's very vague. It's still not telling people exactly what they're going to get. And so what you have to be able to do is you have to be able to say, okay, so the first thing you get is you get a one-on-one jumpstart session. In this session, I'm going to help you to create your high ticket offer so that after the session is over, you actually have an offer that you can immediately start selling and start getting paying clients right away. Right? That's what I do with my clients. I do a session with them to help them create their high ticket offer. Now imagine if I just said you get a one-on-one jumpstart session. People will be like, okay, they will scroll to the next thing because I'm not really telling them the benefit of what that thing is going to do for them. So when you're selling, when you're putting these sales pages together, you want to make sure, first of all, you're speaking your ideal client's language. Number two, you got to tell people what they're getting, right? You got to have the features on there and the benefits. And a lot of times people put too much emphasis on the features and not on the benefits. We think people get excited about 3 sessions, and it's like, yeah, that's great, but what are those 3 sessions going to do for me? People, let me tell you, your ideal clients, they like the features, but they're really paying you for the benefits. Imagine, someone wants to pay you for benefits, but they don't even know what the benefits are because you didn't talk about it or you didn't put it on your sales page. People pay for results, right? Nobody wants to, well, some people might. Like for me, for example, I always talk about how I work out. Sometimes I don't feel like working out. right? So on a normal basis, I work out 6 times a week. I don't always feel like working out, right? Many of the days I'm dragging myself because I'm like, listen, I don't really want to do this. I'm not really trying to do this. But after I do it, it feels amazing. I feel accomplished. I feel awesome. I feel ready for my day. The workout is not what I want, right? I want the benefits of working out, right? I want that accomplished feeling. I want to be healthy. I want to have a strong heart, and I want to be in shape. Like I've got two young children and a little puppy. And so I'm like, listen, I need to I can't be running around here dragging. Like I need to be in shape. I need to be able to do the things that I enjoy doing. Right. I like to go to the beach. I don't want to go to the beach and then I'm walking through the sand. And by the time I get to my spot to set up my little stuff, I'm tired and exhausted, right? So I work out because of the benefits of working out, right? If you try to sell me a workout, I may be like, I'm not really interested in that part. But if you sell me the benefits of working out, then I'm like, okay, yeah, that is what I want. So sometimes when you're selling, you really have to think about, well, actually, all the time when you're selling, you have to think about what are the benefits of the thing that you're selling because people don't really want the thing, they want the benefits of the thing. Okay. So for me, like one of my struggles all the time, I always use this example. One of my struggles was I used to have really terrible acne, like just terrible. Like by the time I got into my 20s, I was like, why do I still have acne? Like this life is just so not fair. So I struggle with acne. And one of the things is like right now I like smoothies. I like green smoothies. But at first I would look at a green smoothie and I thought that was like the most disgusting thing. I would be like, why would anybody want to drink that? It's green, it's ugly. Like, who wants to drink this stuff? Right? So, if you came to me and was like, Shanta, I got this awesome green smoothie I want to sell you, I would be like, okay, you're going to need to keep it moving because that looks disgusting. Right? Then I don't want to talk about that because I don't want to drink a green smoothie. But if you came to me and you were like, Shanta, I got something that you can use that's going to help to clear up your skin. This green smoothie right here has all of these nutrients and these minerals in it that's going to help clear up your skin. Now my ears are open because I'm like I'm thinking about the benefits. I'm like I don't want to drink a green smoothie, but what I really want is clear skin, right? So sometimes what you're selling people, you're selling them on the wrong thing. Okay. You really have to sell based on what your ideal clients want and not what they need. Yeah, I probably need to drink a green smoothie every day, right? But that's not what I want. It's what I need, but it's not what I want. So if you're selling me based on what I need, I'm not interested in that. Okay. Now, if I try to sell Facebook ads to somebody, Facebook ads can be very complicated. When you go into the ads manager, it's very complicated. Facebook ad strategy can be complicated. And so I remember when I did a session with my clients and we talked about how to write Facebook ads, but I also had a guest come in and teach on Facebook ads when the iOS update was going on and things like that. And one of my clients, she was just like so overwhelmed with all of the stuff that we talked about with the Facebook ads because it can be very complicated. So if I try to sell, just say, hey, listen, I'm selling this course on Facebook ads. Now that might work for somebody who's very techie like me. Like I may be like, okay, yeah, I know exactly what this class is going to be about. But for someone who's not that technical and maybe they if they put a little effort in, they could actually write a Facebook ad and get some people signed up for their program, right? Now, if I sold them on, hey, I'm doing a 3-hour Facebook ads class. I'm going to talk about ad fatigue. I'm going to talk about targeting. We're going to talk about ad copy. We're going to talk about how to your images. That could be overwhelming for someone. Versus if I'm just saying, hey, listen, I'm going to teach you how to get get more clients and close more sales. And so that is what people actually want, right? They may need to run Facebook ads, but what they really want is more clients. Okay. And so think about whatever it is that you sell or whatever it is that you offer. What are the benefits of that offer? Okay. And that's what you lead with. You lead with how this person's life is going to be different. Listen, you want people to pay you. You want people to give you money. Honor them, honor those people by laying out what they're going to get, the benefits of what you're offering in a way that's clear, in a way that speaks to them and connects with them, right? Don't make the mistake that I made at first. I see people doing it now and I cringe when I see people leading with their credentials, right? There's someone who I'm connected to on social media right now, and she always posts her credentials. She always said, "Well, I got this certification, that," and I'm like, "Oh," like I cringe because I'm like, "Oh, like it actually could be a little bit of a turnoff because it's like, well, okay, but how can you help me though? How can you help me to solve this problem?" That's what your ideal clients want to know. How can you help them to solve that problem? What is it? What is it? What problem does this offer solve? That's what you got to be able to do on your sales pages. Okay. So the next time, or if you already have a sales page, or the next time you create your sales page, I want you to think about that. Here's another really powerful tip for sales pages that can make a huge difference. Sometimes we overcomplicate sales, and we make it to be this thing that is difficult, is overcomplicated. One thing about your sales pages, when I look at some of you guys' sales pages, y'all don't be bad about this, but some of your sales pages are so boring. And the reason why I say that is because this picture, and then you got join the so and so program, don't miss out. And then you get 2 workbooks, 4 one-on-one sessions, and here's the link to pay. And it's like, okay, like what I want my 30 seconds back, right? I want my time back because I read the sales pitch and I still don't know exactly what it is that I'm getting. Now, if you want to really make your sales page awesome, then tell a story on your sales page. Stories sell, right? Stories are so powerful. I was just reviewing a sales page for someone. Now, normally I don't do this, right? I write my own copy and I help my clients with their copy, but that's not something that I do as a service. But I just did it for a peer, and he had this really nice sales page. But I'm like, it was like what we talked about. It was so boring, and I'm like, you need to tell the story that you just told me. You need to tell that story on this sales page because that's what's going to make people want to buy, not like what we just talked about. This is what you get. You get all these sessions. Here's the price, and you really like a story. When you tell stories, it connects with people. For example, if you're selling a program on, let's say, a program on visibility, right? And you've got this sales page, and if you tell people how you came into the knowledge that you have right now, or how visibility changed your life or one of your clients lives, that is what gets people excited because it's like, oh, like they're seeing like where you were, and then they're seeing where you are right now, and they're also seeing possibility. Like, if it's possible for this person, then I can do it too. If you're telling a story about how a client came to you and they weren't making enough sales, and you help them to level up their visibility game, and now they're closing more sales than they know what to do with, that is a story that gets people excited. Okay. If you just got a whole bunch of words talking about, the features, that's boring, right? Tell people a story. Tell people where you were, and how you got to where you are, and why this product is the key to helping them to do the same thing, right? Y'all, what I just told you right now is so valuable. So if you are writing your own sales page, let's say you're like, listen, I'm not in a place right now where I could hire an expensive copywriter. Do what I said. Tell stories on your page. Talk about where you were, and then where you are now, how this thing that you're selling can help people to do the same thing. You want people to read the story that you tell, and you want them to see themselves in that story, right? Now, I'm not talking about go fabricate stuff, right? And I know y'all won't do that, but you could use your own story. You could use a story of one of your clients, If you don't have any stories, which I'm pretty sure you probably do, if you dig deep enough, you probably have stories that you can put on your sales page. If you don't have stories, then go find some statistics. Okay, if you're selling a class on Facebook ads, go find statistics about Facebook ads. Statistics that help people to see the possibility of what they can achieve with that course. So there's so many different things that you can do, okay? But after today, no more boring sales pages, y'all. No more speaking over your ideal clients' heads. No more just talking about the features, but not telling people the benefits of those features. So those things, even if you don't have anybody to write copy for you, the few things that we just talked about can help you to improve your sales page greatly. Y'all, I looked at a sales page this morning. It took me about like maybe 15 minutes to figure out what this person was offering. Don't make your people work that hard. Don't make it hard for people to give you money. Make it easy for them, okay? Because believe it or not, if a person has landed on your sales page, most likely they're probably interested in what you're offering, but you can turn those sales away by not being clear, by speaking over their heads, by not telling them what's in it for them, how their life is going to be different, by not telling stories, helping them to see themselves in that story, helping them to see that product at work. You guys, this is one of the reasons why I don't know about you guys, but I'm I'm a social media shopper. I don't really have time to go to the stores and do a lot of shopping. I just don't have a lot of time for it. So what I do is if I see an influencer and they're wearing something cute, I'm like looking for the link because I'm like, that's cute. I want it, right? Because I don't have time to go to the store and like find these outfits. But if someone has done the work for me and found a nice outfit and they're modeling it for me, then I'm clicking on their link because I'm like, oh, that's cute. I want it. And I click on it and I buy it and I'm back to doing whatever it is that I'm doing. The reason why that's so powerful is because we're seeing it in action, right? When someone is wearing an outfit or when they're using a product. Have y'all seen those videos? Let me know in the comments. Have y'all seen those videos on TikTok where it's showing somebody doing all these different things? Like they have all these little gadgets in their house and they have a gadget for everything. They have a gadget for cutting the vegetables. They have a gadget for cleaning their shoes, like all these different little gadgets. Like I don't know why those videos like suck me in. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I like this. Right. And the next thing you know, you're looking for the link because you're like, I need that little thing that slice the eggs or stuff that you really don't need, but you think you need it because you just saw it. So that's me. I'm like, oh, I need that thing. Like, I need that thing to slice my eggs, or oh, I need that thing to put in my shoes when I take them off at the end of the night, or whatever, right? And most of the time I don't. But the fact that I'm seeing it in action is like, oh, I want this. So when you tell stories on your page, it allows people to see it in action. They want to see that product in action, and it makes a huge difference on the impact that your sales page is going to have. Okay. If you got any questions about sales pages or anything that I talked about today, just feel free to send me a message on Facebook. If you're watching me on LinkedIn, send me a message on LinkedIn. If you're on YouTube, just come on over to one of those platforms or shoot me an email at info@shantaprince.com. Now, for those of you who already know me, you know that I like Facebook Messenger is the fastest way to reach me. I like that is my jam. That's how I talk to a lot of my clients. That's how I communicate with you guys. So I actually make time in my day just to get a messenger, just to engage with you guys. So if you want to chat, you got any questions about your brand, creating offers, sales pages, shoot me a message and we can chat. All right, you guys, I'll be back next week at the same time. I go live every Thursday at 12 o'clock. Whatever platform you're watching me on right now, you can watch me next Thursday at the same time. Y'all have a great week. Go out there, fix those sales pages, go out there and crush some sales. And I'll see you next week at the same time. Have a great one.